All this trying and failing, so much denying and wailing, fed up with seeking and hiding, analyzing and dividing. It just takes a courageous warrior, a courageous warrior, a courageous warrior of the heart. All that hoping and waiting, never arriving, so frustrating, fed up with lying. Please, no more tricks, no more running. There's nothing to fix. It just takes a courageous warrior, a courageous warrior, a courageous warrior to meet what's here. No limitations, no control, nothing to get, nothing to hold, nothing to lose, nothing to know, nothing to win, no final goal. It just takes a courageous warrior, a courageous warrior, a courageous warrior. Face the void.
Can you hear me now? Yes? Okay. Yeah. So we had some technical issues. Okay. 1 second. Oh, also the music you didn't hear? Oh, you heard the music. All right. Okay. Well, here we are. So welcome. That's what you missed. I said that's what I was saying before. Welcome, and it's lovely to see you. And also welcome to those who are watching the live stream on YouTube, and also the recording, of course. Yeah. So today's theme is nothing to do and nowhere to go. So we'll start by a short guided meditation. So if you could just get comfortable and you can close your eyes. Take some deeper breaths. And with each breath, settling into being here now. Letting go of whatever else was happening in your life before the start of this session. And bringing all your attention to this moment, this experience, whatever it is for you. Noticing the physical sensations, how you feel in this moment. How is this body doing right now? And it may be some strong, obvious sensations. It may also be something more subtle. We just acknowledge whatever is here. Noticing any thoughts that might be here. We just notice them just like we notice any other physical sensation. It's all weather passing through. And beyond it all is the knowing of it all, the awareness of whatever is happening. And that is always clear, always at peace, always untouched, no matter how touched you may feel. So then again, we can bring our attention to the sensation of the feet touching the ground or the bum on the seat. This breath. And then when you're ready, we can open our eyes. It's sunset time here, so the sun is gonna, you'll see different light shows as it comes through. Yeah. So this theme, nothing to do, nowhere to go. Well, this keeps it very simple. There's not much more to say, really. That's the message, essentially. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Which leaves us right here, right now. But of course, the tendency for the thinking is to imagine that there is a lot to do and there is a lot to get to in the future, or to places to go that are not here right now. And this is reinforced everywhere we go in our lives, from the apparent outside world. This seems to be normal to operate like that and to think like that, as if there is always something to improve, something to fix, somewhere better in the future or somewhere else. We are constantly trying to fix ourselves. We're constantly finding problems with our current present experience, or with who we believe we are, with some ideal about the future that if only I would be completely different, or if my experience would be completely different, or even just a little bit different, then everything would be so much better. Or then I would finally come to rest or be at peace. And to really acknowledge that there is nothing to do and nowhere to go is very confronting for these habitual thoughts, for these kind of normal thoughts, apparently normal thoughts. To really be confronted with this and only this. And when I say this, I mean this experience, whatever it is for you in this moment, that this is it. That there's nothing more. And that this is enough, just the way it is. It's not missing anything, it's not lacking anything. It doesn't need anything to be added or changed. That you are right now, wherever you are exactly in the right place at the right time. You are exactly where you need to be, experiencing exactly what you need to experience. And that's not a concept or an idea or something or belief. It is simply the reality that because you are experiencing this experience, this is exactly what you're meant to be experiencing. If you were meant to be experiencing something different, you would be. So really meeting that acknowledgement of whatever is here, knowing that there is no escape, essentially, because even if you are apparently running to some imaginary future, you cannot actually escape the present experience, because even if you're running, the experience of running is what is happening presently. The present experience is always present. I mean, of course, this is so obvious and so simple, but we overlook it all the time. We may have moments where we are perhaps enjoying a beautiful moment in nature, or look in our someone we love's eyes, or some moment where an ordinary experience invites us to truly acknowledge that there is nothing but this. But then the mind comes in, doing its job of being a very useful tool to survive in the world, with all kinds of ideas that we can survive better if we are doing a lot and trying to get somewhere else. But if you recognize truly that there is nowhere else but here, that there is nothing that needs to be added to this present experience, then when the thinking comes in with all its ideas about the future or the past or whatever, you know that this too is part of, it is included in this present experience. That the thinking doesn't exist in the future or the past. It may be talking about the future or the past, but this is happening presently, just like any other physical sensation or a view that you see or a sound. The thinking also is happening presently. Even an imagination of somewhere better in the future is happening presently. There's no escape from this present experience. The thinking is not a problem. It's not doing anything wrong by trying to get somewhere in the future. It's what it does. But you can see it for what it is. You can see it as just a belief, just a thought, just imagination, a dream, a belief. And when you see it for what it is, you know, you get the joke that there is only this, no matter what thinking says. So you might spend this moment, this experience, imagining the future. Okay, that's what's happening presently. It doesn't ever mean that there's something wrong with this present experience, even if the thinking imagines that it would be better if you go somewhere else or do something else. This present experience is still absolutely complete, full. So no matter what the thinking says, there's only presence. So we treat the thinking like a sweet child that doesn't really know the whole picture. You know, it is limited. It imagines a better future. It imagines that there is so much to do, to fix, to change. And we acknowledge that maybe many of these ideas are very sensible ones or interesting, but still, here I am. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. This is enough right now. And there's a deep relaxation in that. In really acknowledging that this is enough. Exactly what you're experiencing right now. This is enough. This is who you are right now. The next moment doesn't exist, and the past never happened. Simply right now. And this doesn't mean that you shouldn't take action. If action happens in this present experience, then this is what's happening. And there's no escape from taking action. Sometimes you may notice that the thinking has an idea that you need to go somewhere else or do something. Now you recognize that there is only this. There is only this present experience, and this is enough. But within that present experience is this thought about doing something. Okay, so that's welcome to be here. And you may notice that as part of this present experience, the thought is a form of energy. It's like a beginning of a movement in time, in space. Even though there is only this present moment, there is the play as if. There is the horizontal timeline of time and space. And so there's the beginning of a movement to go somewhere or to do something. But it is always happening presently. And at the same time, you're following this movement, this movement of energy that maybe starts with a thought, maybe it starts with a physical sensation. It starts in some way, a movement of energy going nowhere, of course, because it's always happening presently, but it appears to be going somewhere, moment to moment, following that moment, as if moments lead from one to the next. This is the paradox. This is the play, as if there is time, as if there is space, as if there is somewhere to go and something to do and someone to do those things. And we play as if that's true. But it's always only ever happening presently. And this is mind-blowing, right? It's a paradox. We can't really understand this. the mind wants to understand and come to some conclusion that it is just presence and that then there is no time, or that there is only time and that there is no presence. But to acknowledge that there is both, there is the horizontal and the vertical simultaneously. In other words, there is only presence. And we play as if there is the timeline of me moving along a timeline, going somewhere, doing something. But at any moment, in fact, in this moment, we can question, we can see for ourselves, who am I? Who is this me that is moving along a timeline? When there is simply this moment, this experience, whatever it is right now. And there's no one experiencing it. Simply life happening. Playing the game as if. And in that game, it seems as if there are changes that happen. It seems as if there is some kind of evolution of a human experience. As if there's a past that you have evolved out of and a future that you evolve into. And we play as if that's true, which is how we can live in the world. We talk about things we've done in the past and what we plan to do in the future. And this is part of the game, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's all included in this game of being someone in the world. But the truth, really, is that there is only this moment, not even this moment. There's only presence. No one being present. Simply presence. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Nothing to achieve, nowhere to arrive at. This is enough, just the way it is right now. So, I'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions, or if you'd like to have a dialogue, you can just raise your hand. You can also type a question in the chat. Yeah. I see. Dennis, I love this theme. It's how I feel each night at bedtime. Yeah, lovely. And then I see Kevin, you've written, how do I manage purpose with that philosophy or theme? Well, as I said, it's a paradox, right? So, first of all, it's not a philosophy. And I don't say that just to pick on your words. really, it is more of a recognition. So and the difference is that a philosophy is more of a mental belief system, or certainly a bunch of concepts, right? Whereas what I'm actually saying is look, look for yourself, right? That there's just this. And then within the play, as if there is someone in time, then we play as if I have a certain purpose, or I feel drawn to a certain purpose, or a sense of this in this human experience, within the timeline of this human's life, there may be a sense of feeling that this is my purpose within this timeline. But at any moment, you can see for yourself that there is simply this, nothing more, no purpose. And this experience right now is more than enough purpose, just as it is. It doesn't need any extra purpose. And again, this is the paradox. It's both, you see? And knowing this paradox, that there is ultimately no purpose, gives us the freedom to play fully at having a purpose, or going for a purpose in some way. Because we take that sense of purpose much more lightly. We're not so serious about me and my purpose, and my or lack of purpose, because it can also be that way. We don't take ourselves as this identity, this separate identity, so seriously, because we know that ultimately there is just this, and there is in fact no one living a life. So we're only pretending, or not even pretending, we're playing as if I'm someone with a purpose. And if I don't feel any sense of purpose in my life, then this is also absolutely as it is. Nothing wrong, nothing missing. This experience is full of purpose, just the way it is. Yeah. Okay. We have another question. Rosemary, what do you mean there is no one to be present? Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, well, often we are under the assumption that I need to be present. I need to keep my focus on the present experience. And this is a useful exercise for a while, to a point. Yeah, it's a useful exercise to start to see that I'm not my thinking. And to also to support us in coming out of a lot of busy thoughts. We can use this exercise of being present, trying to be more present, or focusing on the present experience, so that we don't focus on the thinking. But what I'm talking about is something else. It is about recognizing that there is only presence. This is very different to this idea that I am being present, or I am shifting my focus from thinking to this image, or this sound, or this sensation that's happening presently. Because when we are shifting the attention, not that that shouldn't happen, that happens all the time naturally, that we shift our attention all the time. But when we believe that I'm doing it, that I'm me, and my attention is on the present experience, then there is a me and the present experience. In other words, there is separation. Yeah, there's like a wall between the present experience and a me. Actually, there is no me. There is no one in here. Yeah, there is simply the present experience. That's all there is. There's no one experiencing this present experience. There is simply the experience. You can see that for yourself if you investigate it right now. You may notice that there's this experience, maybe the sensation that you feel right now, the feet on the ground, or a sensation in your belly, the sound of my voice, or this visual image. There may be a thought. There may be even a thought that says, I'm experiencing this. But beyond the thought of it, do you notice that there's anyone actually experiencing? Or is there simply the experience only? Yeah, feel free to actually unmute yourself, Rosemary, if you have more to ask or say on that.
Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes. Hi. Nice to see you, Umani, after so long.
And you, yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I understand in a way when you say that there is a me and then there is this experience, that there seems to be a kind of a duality in that way of thinking. And it's there's me and then there's the world, and so there's two instead of one.
Mm.
So I understand that. I think that's maybe part of what you might be alluding to, but I still feel inside of me that there is a me that's having this. There is a me that is speaking to a you right now, and so although conceptually I understand that that's dualistic and that's duality, my experience still says, but there is a me speaking to a you.
Is it,
And
I would wonder, is it your experience or is it a thought? Is it a belief? What do you actually experience that is kind of proof to you that there is a me there talking to a me, a you here?
well, I'm seeing a body here and I'm hearing a voice speaking and I'm feeling in my heart a question, and then the question is coming out in words. So there's something that's doing that.
It's all certainly happening, right?
Yes.
We're not denying that any of this is happening. It's happening and it's fully experienced. But who?
There's an awareness that is experiencing this.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because yes, there's the awareness is experiencing or knowing that all of this is happening, but that awareness is not located in that body, and you can, the usual assumption is that it is, that's me, right? I'm in here and I'm aware of this experience, but this is something to investigate for yourself. Do you really find someone in there, or is it simply that you are awareness and you are aware of the experience that's happening? You don't really know that it's located in. This is an assumption.
Okay, so then I am the awareness. I am the awareness, is what you're saying, that is aware of this happening.
Yeah.
But this awareness is not located inside of my body?
I mean, you can investigate that for yourself. We usually assume that, but you, as awareness, you are aware of this body.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You're aware also visually. You can look down and see this body, right? It's very convincing, this assumption, because it seems as if visually we look out of these eyes and we're looking at the body as if I'm in here looking out. This is the usual assumption. But actually, anytime you close your eyes and see and investigate and examine, who is in here actually. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want to tell you what you're going to find. You have to check that for yourself, right? But it's a usual assumption that, I'm in here.
So then there's just this body is just this thing then. There's awareness that is detached from this body. This body is just something. It's just this thing.
It's included. It's in this awareness. Yeah.
Oh, it's within the awareness.
Yes. It's not separate from it. It's an expression of this awareness that you are. Yeah? It's as is the whole of life, right? It's an expression of this awareness, and it seems as if the expression of awareness expresses itself as this particular flavor, this particular human flavor, and within the play of this human flavor, there are all kinds of sensations and feelings and experience that happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's about examining these most fundamental beliefs that we've had our whole lives. Like, who am I? Right? What the hell is going on here in this life? Right? Where am I? Also about location. Where are the boundaries between inside and outside? Is there an inside and outside? All of these kinds of these fundamental questions we need to kind of throw out, or let's say it doesn't even have to be as harsh as throwing out, but just hold very lightly, let's say, all these usual beliefs, so that we can check freshly for ourselves. For example, with this question, who am I? Well, the usual answer would be, I'm my story, my life, my history, right? My body, all of this. But in order to really check the truth of that, we need to put aside all of that the normal responses to that question, and check for ourselves in our own direct experience.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. It's wonderful to see you.
Yeah, and you.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyone else want to have a dialogue? Dennis.
Hi. I'm just wondering if this nowhere to go, nothing to do, how that can be used sort of as a practice. I mean, it's kind of I'm never living in the future. My character is always planning and thinking about the past and doing all that stuff. But, I practice self-inquiry, meditation, mindfulness all the time. and often have these amazing insights that are fleeting. But I'm actually never really looking forward to something in a urgent kind of way. And I don't know. So that's my question is like, how can we use this?
I mean, it is, it is being used right now, right? It's
Right.
it's the reality. Um, of course, the mind then wants to turn it into a practice that then I can use in my life to improve my life. Yeah. And as I said earlier, I mean, it can be, you can kind of train the mind to uh, not focus so much on circular thinking or negative thinking and be more focused on the present experience. But that is a tool for being in the world. It's something else than what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about is really recognizing the reality that there is only presence.
Yeah, that brings me back all, when I'm just being here now, it always connects me to the thing that's always here now, which is not a thing. And all I can say is all my practice is just keeps me noticing that more and more in the realm of time, that it's just happens more often, where it's not just like I'm experiencing what's happening right now, but I'm aware that there's something else that I can't express. So that's how it helps me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, of course, anyway, the more we are seeing that we are not our thoughts, and bringing the attention out of the thinking um, to what is happening presently, um, then if we know that I'm not all those stories of thinking, then what is left? Well, what is left is what I'm talking about here, right? Is simply this awareness of, and yes, then all the words fail, because actually what we're talking about is who we really are. That can become obvious when we're not so focused on these, when we're not buying into all the mental stories. So, for that reason, those kind of practices are very helpful. We start to see that we are not just the thinking.
I often feel frustrated because I don't have a question, but I feel like I need to ask a question because there's this urge to like keep moving forward somehow. And then I realize, well, there's nowhere to go, just be here. So it's just a dynamic that's happening.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean this movement forwards. How do you experience that? In what way?
Kind of a frustration. Like I feel kind of trapped in this game where uh, I'm, I'm doing what I need to do, and it's showing me that what I'm doing is the right thing, to like get to that place where um, I'm not in the game. Even when I say that's just the word I'm using, so that there's a transformation of some kind. Not that I'm looking forward to it. I feel like it's already here, but there's just a frustration that there's still, I'm still like somehow not free, you know?
How do you know that you're not free?
It's just a thought, you know, because whatever is here, I can sense that's already free. There's this, it's not even a thing that has to get free. It's just here. So it's just this like the whole like mind thing feels like its own trap. I don't even know how to talk about it, but it's just, I know it's just a feeling of frustration, feeling of not being free, but I don't even know what that means when I actually look at it. It's
Yes,
so like,
it leaves you with just feeling the frustration, and even taking the label of frustration off, and just feeling that as a sensation. It doesn't mean that you're not free, you know that. Yeah, even if it says that, even if thought says that, you know, there's nowhere to go, nothing to do. So then you're left with the raw sensation that might be uncomfortable.
right. Thank you.
And that's it. And it will be here as long as it's here, and it may well change, but it's not up to you to do anything. While it's here, it's here. I mean, of course, you can do something, some kind of practice or whatever. You can do something that is soothing also for the body. If the body's feeling uncomfortable, maybe you want to lie down or focus on your breathing or go for a walk in nature or something, that might make the body feel good or more at ease. But still, there's no escape from what is here while it's here. Thank you. Maybe there's something else to say about this this movement forward in a way, because there can be this sense of longing, right? A longing or a call to wake up or to be free that comes not just from the mind. The mind can get involved, almost hijacking or trying to hijack this sense of longing. By coming in with the various ideas of what I need to do in order to get there and all of that. But there can be a kind of mysterious sense of longing that I would describe as like life calling itself home. And in the end, actually, it's not about getting somewhere, arriving anywhere, or doing anything in particular. It's actually about acknowledging this call, feeling it, because it also can be uncomfortable. It can be very painful, even, or it can bring some frustration also from the mind that feels like it's a goal in the future. But actually, it's not a goal in the future. It's actually about meeting this longing or listening to this call now. It's calling home, calling itself home now. Now is the home. It's not about one day I'll be free. It's not a longing for some goal. It's just simply an invitation to meet myself now in whatever is here, even if it's very uncomfortable. Because also it's only the thinking that imagines time, that there's somewhere in the future to get to. Beyond the thinking, there's only ever now. And really, this is so simple, right? It's so simple. It's too simple. It's too simple for the mind. The mind loves to complicate things. It projects into the future. It imagines problems and things that are missing, some challenge that needs to be overcome, and then I'll be free. But to really acknowledge that I am free right now seems too obvious, too simple, that we just dismiss it. Oh, I can't be this because I'm still feeling uncomfortable, or I'm still having emotions or thoughts or problems in my life. But life includes all of that as part of the human play. It never actually means that there's something wrong or missing. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Ah, Jean-Marc, have you got your hand up?
Yes, I did. Yes, it reminds me that you talked about being free with, not free from.
Mm.
And, because for me, it's difficult because it can be painful to be free with. And I have a question about the word play. So presence, playing at, being someone. And I don't feel I'm playing. It's not very funny, in fact, because the word play in my mind may say that this is, yes, quite funny, like children playing. And that's...
Yeah, but children also play more serious games, right? More not so funny games. It's, I mean, maybe the word play doesn't have it has, let's say, has certain associations for you. But it's, we are
Yeah,
like,
because there is someone playing still, I would say there is still someone playing. I think the me is over there.
or you have a certain expectation of, like, if it's a play, then it should always feel funny or light. But yeah, it is what it is, right? Whatever the experience is part of the play, or you could say the theater, or the show of life. Sometimes it's a tragedy.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes it's just kind of flat, nothing special. And sometimes it's joyful.
We have the whole spectrum.
Yeah. But the point is that, that it, that you are watching it, you are aware of it, and at the same time, you are a character in it. And this is that paradox. You're playing as if you are this person on the stage, and at the same time, you are the audience watching it.
Yeah, I I don't really have this feeling of being the audience, just watching.
Yeah, maybe you expect it to be a feeling. It's not really a feeling. It's more,
Hmm,
maybe more of a knowing.
maybe. Hmm.
And I wonder maybe if you already recognize what I'm talking about, but sometimes doubts come in.
Oh, yes. Thoughts loves to
Yeah,
spread some doubt.
absolutely. And these thoughts, these doubts, you know, they can be here, but still they don't mean it.
That's playing too.
Yes, exactly. That's also playing.
Mm.
Yeah. You're playing as if you don't recognize this.
Thought once more
Yeah.
and plays out at wanting more.
Yeah, and that's what it does, and we get the joke of that. We see, yeah,
Yes. And thought once before and after. And what is the difference between the before and the after?
yeah, give me proof.
Yeah.
I want to be someone special that's got it.
It's a bit tiring.
Yeah, only if you take it seriously. You know, it's just what thought does. And it's great that you express it now when it comes. Express it. It's here. You know, we acknowledge it. Yeah, that's thought. Great. Thank you. Thank you, thought, for doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I think we've come to the end of our time for today. So thank you, everyone. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you. And the next theme will be living. What does it mean to live? Sorry, I've got it written down here. What does it mean to live from the heart? Yeah. So, and that will be on 20th of March. Yeah, and before that, I'm doing a I'm hosted by the Open Circle Center in the US on I think it's the 17th of March, holding a talk. And then I'll also be doing a weekend in April with them as well. So you're welcome to join me for both of those things. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Lots of love. See you next time.